Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to HOI4 as we are playing with the Kaiserreich mod as the Russian Republic. So if you guys saw the last video that I put out on Saturday, then you know that we've had some issues with the series. Kaiserreich mod got an update on Thursday, so maybe 10-12 hours after I put that video up, and I didn't even know. So when I tried to record on Friday, couldn't figure out what was wrong because the save file was just completely screwed. Didn't work at all, and I eventually figured out that it was because there was the new 0.14 patch. So because of that patch, we did have to restart. And I asked you guys in the comments of that video to tell me whether you guys wanted to watch the restart, starting back from day one, and then we just kind of put it on speed 5 and not read the events and just get back to where we were, or if you would prefer me just start on June 13th, which is where we left off in the last video, and just kind of fill you in on anything that might have happened differently from the first time through. And it did seem that the majority of comments wanted me to just start with the June 13th. Didn't want to watch us do the same thing over again, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I went ahead and already played up to the same exact time. We left off here, June 13th at 0600, 1936, and we're at the exact same hour. Date and hour for when we left off on that last video. There were a few things that happened differently, and I did want to go in this way rather than just starting the game so I could show you guys that all the settings are the same. So I don't see Russia here, but we didn't tick Russia on. I want to say that that's weird. I want to say that because we're clicked on as Russia, they're removed or something like that, but yeah, I didn't turn Russia's difficulty up as you'd expect. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that they're not on here anymore. I didn't know that the country you're playing as isn't on here when you are loading up a save. One new thing that they added was this rule setting here on whether the Second World War can start before 1939. And it seems I can't change the settings here, which makes sense since we already started the save, but essentially there was 3 options. The default was basically it doesn't allow the Second World War to happen before 1939 no matter what. I think it was called limited, and then the second setting is rare, and then the third setting is basically like fully open, so it doesn't really matter. So I turned on the rare setting, which makes it so that war between the two main factions is pretty less likely. It says the chances they'll lead to war are very small, but it's still possible. So it's basically the middle setting, so that's what I put it on. Everything else is the same as when we did this the first time. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. Kind of discuss the few differences with this playthrough than what happened last time. So the main one, as far as foreign changes, is the fact that Estonia, I don't remember what country was here, what country the game had here. I think it was like a Baltic Republic or something like that. I don't know. I could be completely making that up. But there was a one country here, and they did split up. So you can see that there's 2 now, Estonia and essentially Livonia, which has a unique name here, and also is Radical Socialist. Okay, so we got Radical Socialists on our border now. That's interesting. So that's the main change, is that this country here did split up. And I don't know if they are part of it as well. They split off, Riga split off too. But that's the main difference. Just kind of changed the borders up for us. And of course we now also have Radical Socialists on the border. So that's the main change with the foreign situation. I guess another one would be the fact that the war is still ongoing here, and it looks like it's a little bit more limited than the China war that we saw in our first playthrough. The war here happened already. They had peace, just like the first time. There is not a French kingdom. It's still the French Republic, so that's another major difference from the last time through. And I don't know what happened here, but we did have an event here, and I couldn't recall if we had seen it or not. But the Totalitist are in power rather than the Syndicalist, and I don't know what happened last time, if this is the same, but I couldn't remember. So I think those are the only foreign differences. Now, as far as our own country, we got a different event, 2 different events that we didn't get the first time, one of them negative, one of them positive. The first one was like political bombings. I'm pretty sure we didn't get that the first time through, and it reduced our stability by 4%. So, that was negative. However, we did get the first event for recovering from the recovering from the Great Depression, and it was called government intervention, I believe, and it did reduce the effects that we were getting from the economic depression. So it's kind of reduced them all by a little bit. So we've already started the recovery. So that's a little bit different from last time as well. I think that's it. Now, we are playing on the new update, and I looked at the patch notes, and they do make several changes to Russia. The new update does. Nothing that really affected us yet, but there are some differences that I saw on the change notes where they changed like some of the staff out, I think. I think the focus tree might have got a few changes, and I think they got some decision changes too. So those were the only differences. So now we can go and get started, I believe. I don't think there's anything else I need to cover here. Oh yes, we left off the same place that we left off last time. I haven't assigned these guys yet, our new operative. We just got the new operative. Of course, these are going to be different operatives than what we had last time. And I think we're just going to have them stay here. I don't really know if there's any point because we only have the two guys. I guess we can try and see what missions pop up. We'll just assign one of them, one of our two agents, have them come over here and do like build intel network. Let's see which one we want to assign though. Which one would have the best chance of succeeding here. All right, so I think we'll do the tough one. He has a linguist, so maybe he'll learn German. That'd be pretty helpful. So let's go and put him into Berlin. So we'll just put one guy there for right now. Let him build up the intel, and we'll see what missions come available. I know that there's not very many missions you can do with only 2 operatives, though, so we might be a little bit limited in that regard. But then we have the Peasant Unrest. I want to say I've already got an event about this, so it seems like we're getting more negative events this time around. Further reducing our stability. Maxim Gorky dies. Okay, so this is going to increase our stability. We did get that last event that happened the first time through about the psychologist that died. So we got that one too, but I want to say it only increased stability by 1%, which I think the first time it increased it by 2, if I'm not mistaken. So that might have been something changed. We did get the focus here. Again, same thing that we did last time. I got this focus first, and then I got this one. So this one is going to give us a daily political power gain, so that's going to be super helpful. And then we also are going to get a bit of stability, so that's helpful as well. And now that opens up 2 different focuses we can get. Resource prospection, which will unlock some decisions to get us more resources. And then we'll also be able to come down here and get the infrastructure focus. Probably not going to go this route just yet. Whatever this one is, I'm sure it's better. And the reason why I say that is because we don't really need resources right now, except for oil. That's the main one we're lacking, which we don't really have like a lot of oil supplies. So I don't know if these decisions might give us oil. In that case, it would be a bit useful. But I think this one's better because it's going to modify that economic depression spirit that we have, national spirit. And it's also going to unlock some decisions to invest in some of these states. I don't know. We'll actually have the political power to do them, but we'll have to see. But yeah, other than that, like everything happened the way, other than those 3 things that I mentioned in the foreign relations, everything happened exactly the way it did before. But, you know, a lot of people complain that, I've seen a lot of people in the forums complaining that Kaiserreich is too railroaded, that things always happen the same. Again, I don't play enough to comment on that myself. I wouldn't say that that's the case because I don't know. But I did see a lot of people complaining about it on the forums. So we got a factory done. We're gonna put it towards infantry equipment. We're still pretty short on infantry equipment here. You can see we're 5,000 short. And we can build 5 more units, but we're gonna wait to do that until after we've gotten the equipment issues dealt with. All right, so it seems that this has to do with this region here. I don't know if we got this in that event that split these up or if we've always had it. I really can't remember. You guys would have to tell me. But it almost seems like we got this in the event where this, again, where these guys split up. And then that's kind of what it implies here, but maybe we got it before that. I don't know. Maybe we had that. Maybe we started with it. But now that our government has taken control of the country and seeks to centralize the state in Moscow, an opportunity arises to dismantle the Latvian autonomy and put the Dvinsk region under direct rule. On the other hand, perhaps we can swallow our pride and let the Latvians be. After all, right now they are pretty complacent. So we can say direct rule from Moscow, which would give us more factories in the state but less manpower. Or we can say keep to the autonomous region, which would decrease stability. And I want to say that this isn't, that we didn't have that before, because you'll notice we only had this one before in here. Well, now we have these guys. So interesting difference here from what we had last time, and I think we're gonna do this one. We'll get more factories. I don't know how many factories are even there. It doesn't look like there's any there. As far as how much manpower we're getting, I guess we can see how much that's gonna impact things. I mean, we're getting 6,000 manpower, so that'd be 25% less. And the fact we don't have any factories there, yeah, I mean, I guess because of the stability, we'll go with this one. But yeah, it's not gonna have any effect at all, pretty much. With the exception of, you know, maybe losing a small bit of manpower. Status of the Orthodox Church. So Article 5 of the Constitution of the Russian Republic states that Russia is henceforth a state in which no faith or belief can have privileges and rights which other faiths do not share. Religion does not have a say in our government. For a country which up to this point was built upon the Russian Orthodox Church, this was a rather shocking change in policy which many people could not agree with. In 1927, the church saw a new patriarch rise, Kirill, who has since been vehement in his crusade to amend the 5th article and grant the church a prestigious status in the Russian Republic. Now that Kerensky is gone and new people are in charge, he has officially petitioned the government to amend the constitution and elevate the church to the status of a state religion. So we can repeal Article 5, which would make Orthodoxy the state religion, and that would give us more recruitable population, but would also require more consumer good factories. We can say Russia shall stay secular, which would decrease the stability, or we can say this repeal does not go far enough, in which case we still gain the state orthodoxy one, and then we still lose stability, so you get both of the effects here, and then plus we'll get this national spirit here, which is going to get us more stability, so basically offsets the stability that we lose, and requires more civilian factories. All right, interesting. And it almost seems like we would get a different government as well. So we're not going to do that. I think we're just going to go with Russia shall stay secular. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. We don't really need to lose more civilian factories. We're already at the point right now where we only have 13 factories building. And here's the political bombings event that I got. It looks like we got it again. So it's just going to continue to keep our stability low. We just can't crawl out of this hole because of these events. And from my understanding, that's pretty standard for Russia here in Kaiserreich. What I saw in the forums is that stability is typically an issue for much of the early game. Now again, stability does seem to be a little bit different than it is in vanilla because, you know, it goes in the negative. And I wouldn't be surprised if like 0% is considered like the neutral position, where in vanilla 50% is, you know, basically the neutral position. And they just kind of change that up a little bit. I think that might be how it is. I'm not entirely sure though. Creation of the International Avant-Garde. Okay. So, I mean, these guys were already allied, I think, weren't they? Maybe it has something to do with them becoming closer. I didn't read the event, but just guessing on base of what I saw there. I think it's interesting that we're going to have the French Republic instead of the French Monarchy. I was kind of excited about the idea that we have a French Monarchy here under Napoleon. So it's kind of a bummer that didn't go the way that it went last time. I guess it still could, but probably not. So we did get the Funding Frenzy. Now we have 2 more options here. Let me just see if anything else is unlocked yet. No. So just these 3 focuses for right now. So we can go down the local development, which is going to give us, it's going to further modify the economic depression modifier, and it's going to allow us to invest in industry. Also, it changes up the modifier we already have by giving us plus 5% resource efficiency, which is one of these here, this one here. So it makes it a little bit better. It gives us more resources. Or we could do the National Investment Bank, which will also further modify economic depression, and also we'll add some bonuses to that modifier. It will increase construction speed and civilian factory construction speed. Okay, and we get a little bit of stability if we do the funding. Okay, I see. So it seems like this one's better for the funding. I mean, we get to do both of them. So with that in mind, I say we should go with the National Investment Bank because we're building civilian factories, so being able to build them faster would be really nice. And then we're going to go down this one anyway, so let's go and grab that. It's also only 35 days. I didn't even notice that. They're both only 35 days, so we can in fact get both of them in the same time that we'd normally be able to get one. We do have these investments opened up now, and we'll have to see what they do. So healthcare expansion. All right, interesting. It does take 2 civilian factories away, Okay, I'm not entirely sure how this, what this will end up doing, since it's an event. But I don't think there's anything else for us to do with our political power. Well, if we hit 100, recruit a head of intelligence. Yeah, it does seem that there's a lot of different ways to get operatives in Kaiserreich than in Vanilla. I suppose we might as well do these ones. I wish I knew where exactly they were all at. But I guess we'll do the northern one. Yeah, I suppose we'll do the northern one. Again, it's going to take 2 civilian factories, but I want to see what it does. We got the Reforming the Military event. The armed forces of the Russian Republic have had a difficult history. It took a decade after the end of the Civil War to restore a stratified professional army. During the war, it had devolved into cliques of white generals and their volunteer followers, after all. Still, a lot of work needs to be done before the Russian army can compete with its likely challengers, be it Germany or Japan. Some see a future in the mobilization of the Russian masses and predict that the next Weltkrieg will be a total war which will require all of the country's resources dedicated to the front. Others, such as General Sergei Markov, were impressed by the effectiveness of armored cars, tanks, and trains during the Weltkrieg, and hoped to organize the army around this armored breakthrough priority. Other officers' cliques are more moderate, though their proposals for army reform no less extensive. The ultimate decision lies in your hands, however. Well, let's have a look. I don't know, are these going to be decisions? No. No decisions have been locked yet. Maybe another event will fire. And Mongol aristocrats take over in Mongolia. Let's see how we're doing on getting the equipment situation dealt with. Almost there. The Black Baron, Pyetr Vrangel, he's a really interesting character to read about. His involvement in the Russian Civil War historically. I mean, he was one of the leaders of the Whites. Eventually, he would be kind of like the main leader of the Whites once the Civil War was over and they had all fled the country. He became kind of like the main face of the Whites until he was, some people think he was assassinated, poisoned, though there's no evidence of that apparently, but that's what people thought. And it wouldn't be out of character of the Soviet Union to be assassinating, some of their rivals that have fled to other countries. All right, so there's another war down here. Seems that there's going to be, that's kind of the early game is warfare in China. I don't remember who the countries were. Maybe it wasn't in China. Could have swore it was, though. I know we got an event about Siam. Maybe it wasn't. All right, I thought it was on about China, but apparently not. So we got the Reforming the Navy event here, and this is probably similar to the Army one. Let's say we'll have a look. Again, not really seeing anything regarding it. I thought there'd be like some decisions that would pop up. Again, though, maybe it's just events that are going to happen a little bit later. The clergy criticizes our government. So I assume this is because we didn't make Orthodox the state religion, so we're going to lose more stability. Yeah, we just can't get ahead here. Now, just being this far behind does result in us getting a little bit of weekly stability. It's going up by 0.9%. But yeah, with the events firing, we just can't get ahead there. So this is the war that just popped up. You know, the war between these two Arabian countries, and then we also got our focus done as well, so that's going to give us those benefits. So we're going to go after the local development next. That does unlock some additional focuses, one of which I think is going to give us some research bonuses, which would be helpful. We've gotten, obviously a few months past where we got last time, but my goal here, with us not having to read as many events, I would really like to make a year in this episode, since last episode we didn't get anywhere near as far as I wanted to. So I'm trying to get us closer to the war here so we don't start the conflict in like episode 8 or some shit. Mass for the motherland. So despite our secular politics, there are still some religious elements within the country that wish well for its future, no matter who is in charge of the government. Yesterday's small mass was dedicated to the prosperity of our motherland. Alright, so we got a little bit of political power there, and that unlocked some decisions. Alright, we can't do these ones while we already have one going. Yeah, let's go ahead and do one of these. Probably one that increases stability. That's really what we need. Though, I want to say the party popularity also will affect stability. Let me just double check here. Yeah, we're not getting any bonus from stability, or to stability from party popularity right now, so that's another way to do it. But I think we should probably focus on getting that stability up first. just because it is so low and it's definitely impacting us quite a bit. So I think that's the first decision we're going to take here, is try and improve our stability. Now, I know that there's going to be other ways to improve it. I'm sure we're going to get other events that are going to increase it. Obviously, a lot of the focuses seem to have stability bonuses. That was another thing we had. We had strike negotiations, which was another negative that I didn't mention, that took a bunch of our factories away, a ton of our factories away. And I forgot to mention that. Overall, and this is one thing I always seem to see whenever I do have to redo something on YouTube. And it doesn't happen very often, but every time it does, it seems like it's always worse the second time around. Like you always get like just worse events, and things just don't work out as well when you go through it the second time. Let's see what we want to get next. Could go after some passive bonuses. Could get some stuff for our ships, because we were talking about getting the submarines once we got the convoys up a little bit higher. So we could always get some like new submarine tech. That'd be an option. There's just so much stuff that we need, though. I really feel like we should get the fighters. Yeah, let's go and get the fighters, guys. Oops, that's close airport. Just so we can get some built. Because right now we're not even building planes, because I don't want to build the old ones. So we got the Concentrated Industry 1, as well as the new light tanks. So I think that's it for industrial techs for right now, though we are having fuel problems. And we don't have a lot of fuel, so maybe we should go after some of the techs here. Let's go and start on that. And then we've got the light tanks. I suppose we can go with the next one. So we're building the most recent ones. That'd probably be wise. And we'll wait to build the tanks until we get that new tech. Not bother building any of those 1934 ones. So more political bombings. Again, we just can't get ahead. It seems like every time we get to negative 39%, then we get the political bombings event, and it brings us back to 43%. I don't know if that's intentional or if it's just bad luck. So we got the local development. Remember, these ones were only 35 days, so we were able to knock them out pretty quick. Did increase our stability up to negative 36%, and we're going to get more resources as well. All right, so two options that we can go with here. Oh, okay, I see. This one unlocks the research slot. Okay, I didn't realize that. I was thinking that these three were tied to this. So in that case, yeah, we might want to start going down here so we can get that research slot. But we should probably get this one first, because it's a plus 10% research speed. So that's a big deal. It's only 56 days to get that too. So we'll get that one, and then we'll just start going down the other line. We'll get that last focus some other time. So another war happening right here. East Turkestan, they're at war with their neighbors. Or both neighbors, it looks like. Yeah, both neighbors. Okay. NRPR goes bankrupt. All right, so we're not going to read this one. You can read it if you want, pause it. But nobody sheds a tear. And so this is going to decrease the popularity of national populism. And I assume we'll get a little bit from that. Let me see how much it's even. So they only have 10%. So we might get a little bit from it, and then it's going to increase our stability as well. We got a percentage. So we're at 33% now. So again, not affecting our stability yet, because it is party popularity is so dang low. Militarist revolt. Okay, so there was also an event that happened here in South America, and I don't remember where it was. Ecuador, perhaps? That was a little bit different than the first time we went through here. I didn't see the event that first playthrough, but it wasn't really anything that important. Mismanagement plagues a Zemstovo. So we're just going to lose stability. That's what's important here. More stability loss. So we finished here with the investment, and we never did get the healthcare expansion event when we finished it. Okay. We shall offer economic support to the Zemstvos. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the region, with potentially beneficial effects. So it does say potentially, so maybe it doesn't have any effects. Maybe we should wait to take these. Yeah, I think we're just going to wait. So in that case, we'll just do this here. Yeah, because I didn't see anything happen with the first one we finished up. Maybe just got to wait a little bit. The Patriarch criticizes our government. So we're going to continue to see problems with the religion, because I didn't make Orthodox the state religion. So it looks like we're going to have problems for a while. So we can say everything will stay as it is. Encourage a national debate on religious matters, or he is right, declare Orthodoxy our state religion. So they're just not going to give up on this. Well, let's go ahead and say everything shall stand as it is, or we could do the encourage a national debate. Yeah, this is what we'll do. We'll encourage a national debate. Let's see what our people say. Let's see what the people say. And Alf Landon was elected president of the United States. Workers' demonstrations, so more loss of stability here. And we got our excavation tech. So we're almost to 1937. We could go ahead and start working on 1937 techs, I guess, because we do want to get those production techs fairly early. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and start working on the industrial techs. We're going to get the concentrated industry too. And again, this is a little bit ahead of time. I usually wait till December before we start getting techs, but our industry is not great. You can see here, we're just getting hit with so many penalties, from stability to some of our economic problems to the factory output, that we are just not putting out much infantry equipment, given how many factories we have assigned. We're just building it up very, very slow, and that's really going to hit us in the war. Obviously we won't have the stockpiles we want to have, and also I'm not even building units yet because I'm waiting until we get the problems dealt with. Now, we can only build 5 more divisions, so it's not like we can drastically increase the size of our army or anything, and we don't have as much manpower either. So that was only industrial research speed plus 10%. Okay, I read it wrong. I thought it was just research speed, but still, we are researching industrial techs, so it's helpful. Let's go ahead and go after the research slot, though. If I had noticed that branch was the one that we got the focus tree that gave us our 5th slot, I would have done that first. That really should have been our first direction we went. You can't just look at the benefits that you get immediately. You do got to kind of look at what else you're getting here, and that's a very important tech. So should have got that a little bit earlier. So we got the fuel storage tech. So we go after fuel refining to make the fuel we do have a little bit more useful. What we should do is probably see how much fuel we even have. We have 32 that we extract, so not much at all. We're exporting 16 of that. So yeah, we only have 16 total. So we're gonna need to build, I think. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're gonna need to do. So rather than going down this way and making our fuel more efficient, our fuel gain per oil more efficient, I really need to look at getting the refineries. Because not only do we need oil, because as Russia, you don't typically have oil problems, but we don't have our good oil provinces down here that we'd normally have access to. So we do have oil issues, and we are always going to have rubber issues as well. More war in China, and Italian democracy survives, so it would seem. Now we could help out here and get involved and try and help out, try and stop the left from spreading here. And send volunteers. I actually don't know if we can actually send any volunteers. Let me just take a look. Looks like we could. We could send volunteers. And we can get involved there. But I really don't think that would be good. Yes, we'd get the army experience, but again, the infantry equipment problem is bad, and I'm trying to build units. So we're just going to stay out of it for right now. I think we need to solve some of our issues first. So they did conquer the north here, and now they have become the country of Saudi Arabia. All right, interesting. But yeah, I think it would be best to wait before we send volunteers out. And it does look like the left isn't going to win in China anyway. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing here with this particular conflict. Yeah, I don't think the left's going to win there anyways. So an admiral was murdered. So the bastard's gone. Excellent. I guess this is a good thing. So it gives us a little bit more political power. And we got our resource prospection. Was that a 35-day one? Seemed like it went pretty quick. So this one's 105 days, so a bit longer than the traditional focus. It is going to give a lot of infrastructure, which, and if those resources, or if any of those provinces have resources, it would increase their resources. What is this going to give us? Some steel. We don't need steel right now, so we're just going to say we don't need to be notified of that. As far as our steel production goes, you can see we are doing excellent. Shouldn't be running out of steel anytime soon. Same thing with chromium. Should be good on aluminum, at least for a time. And then we also got our civilian factories done building. So do we want to continue building civilian factories, or should we go and start working on some military factories? Let me just take a look and see how many military factories we have. Let's go and build one. Now, I know that we build these a lot slower right now, so we don't want to build too many of them, this early on here. but we could definitely use more factories. Our equipment situation is not great. Again, I'm really surprised with just how slow we're building up. I mean, it's not surprising when you look at the penalties we're getting from stability to, again, those economic modifiers. But yeah, we are building infantry equipment incredibly slow. So we no longer have the effects from the austerity measures. So that'll actually free up quite a few civilian factories for us. All right, lovely. So we're going to go ahead and use these to build a couple more. Because another thing we could use our civilian factories for is to start getting some of the intelligence agency upgrades. Some of these would be pretty useful to have. Speaking of intelligence, we should have that mission ready, these missions, if we can do any of them. So we can infiltrate, of course, we can prepare the collaboration government. What we want to do is do the infiltration so that we can steal techs. And as far as which techs we'd want to steal, probably army techs, if we're stealing from the Germans. Now, I want to say you need 3 operatives to do these, so I don't think, no, we can do it. All right, awesome. That's what we're going to do then. We're going to send both of our operatives here. I was thinking it was 3 for these, but apparently not, unless the mod changed it. But again, it could have always been 2. So yeah, we're going to do the army infiltration. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that it's 3 techs to steal, or excuse me, 3 operatives to steal tech. That's probably what I'm remembering. So we have 2 decisions available here. Of course, to recruit the head of intelligence, which I don't know that we're going to do that right now. I mean, I guess it would be useful to have another operative, and we would be able to get the agency upgrades quicker. That's actually a pretty decent bonus there. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. And I don't know what the other one was about. I think it was a solidify control here, which is just changing our party popularity, which at 33%, that's pretty low for national government. So certainly something we'd want to get increased. Just taking a look, see how our planes and ships are doing with the training. Because of the lack of fuel, they're going slower. Like if you look at it here, you can see that getting a 19% penalty because of the lack of fuel. So that's the reason why they're kind of taking a little bit longer to train up than they normally would. So yeah, more war down here. Seems a lot of consolidation going here. And now they're going to be invaded from 2 separate directions, so that's probably not going to go well for them. I do expect that they'll likely be the one to lose that war. 100th anniversary of Pushkin's death. So that's going to get us some more stability. We are slowly climbing out of this hole, guys. We are at negative 20%. Huey Long was assassinated in America. And, oh yes, our tactical bombers are not building those. That's fine. I don't even know that we'll use these. They're done training, so they shouldn't take any more losses. And Tibet finds himself at war with another neighbor, so these guys get a little bit of assistance. And more political bombings. Awesome. We're still doing all right, though. Negative 22%. We're just slowly climbing out of that hole. So the left was annexed there. We expected that. They didn't look like they were doing too well. They are still at war up here in the north against some national populist. And as far as the war here in the south, can't really, I think these guys are winning here. The paternal autocrats over the market liberals. Standoff in America. So President Alf Linden experienced a major blow today as a large number of governors declared his government illegitimate, citing a direct link between the federal government and the recent assassination of Huey Long, and have thrown their support behind syndicalist leader Jack Reed. They've stopped short of succeeding from the Union, but have declared that the federal government holds no authority within their state borders until Alf Landon steps down and a reconciliation council under their chosen leaders put into place to restore order in the nation. In response, President Alf Landon has given the governors 30 days to stand down or be collectively arrested, an order none of them appear to be interested in obeying, making it all but certain that the United States will descend into civil war for the second time in less than a century. Alright, so the Civil War here is already starting. We have the combined syndicalists of America. If you played Kaiserreich before, you know this is a big part of the mod. You can see it's already growing. And if we were to help out in any war, this would be one we'd want to help out in. And America should break into several different countries. So we've helped out in former series. America's typically the proving ground for our military. So that's, if we were going to send volunteers, I think that America would be a place we want to send them to. So what do we want to do here? Get a seducer, safecracker. I think he's probably the best one. And that'll give us the 3 operatives that we're going to need. We're going to continue building intel here because it's declining right now since we don't have anybody doing that. But that'll give us the 3 operatives to steal techs. Now, I want to say it's 3 operatives for stealing techs. I might be wrong. But if it is, then yeah, we'll be able to start stealing some German army techs. But yeah, the war has not broken out here yet with America. It did say 30 days, so should be soon. And they might also further increase the amount of states that have joined them. Kingdom of Finland. Oh, no. Alright, so they've joined the German faction here. Another country we'll have to fight if we go to war with Germany. We got the research done for our fighters. We'll go ahead and get something else selected. We are in 1937, so we can start working on the 1937 techs. Just seeing what's all available here. I know that we're behind on the support companies, but again, no army experience to really add those, so no reason to get those just yet. I think we should probably focus solely on getting the industrial techs because we can research those faster with that bonus that we have, that 10% bonus. And again, you know, that's our main issue. However, you can see we are now in the positive for infantry equipment. Now, artillery is still a bit in the negative because we only have 4 factories assigned there. Let's go ahead and get a fighter wing started, production line, and give them a factory. We might go ahead and give them 2 factories, actually. And we are short on rubber. We don't have any rubber, not even 1 rubber. That's sad. We're going to assign 1 more there. Now, I do know that, you know, they're going to get a little bit of hit to their production efficiency due to lack of resources, but it's only 7.5%. That's really nothing compared to the hits we're already taking to the factory output. Governing Russia. So more than a year has passed since our assumption of power, and we have brought some measure of stability to the country. However, many believe we need to take greater measures to promote the cause of order. But the question is, should we keep our democratic progress, or should we bring the political system back to the certainties of the Tsarist era? We should also make Vrangel the permanent leader of Russia. So this is the decision is yours. It completes the political stabilization. This is going to result in a plus 15% stability. And I don't know if that will have any effect here, but I think that's going to unlock the focus tree. Yeah. So that unlocks our abilities to go either route here. Either restore the monarchy, so we cannot go with the Republic Survives as Vrangel. We knew that. We can restore the monarchy, so I think you can make him into a czar if we wanted to. But again, we're going to go down this route here. Although I don't know if they've made any changes here that might have made it worse, because again, I did see several changes to the... there were at least a couple changes to the focus tree for the Russians in the mod, so I don't know if it will change which direction we want to go here, but yeah, we're probably still going to go with the firm hand. I think that's the way I want to do it. Go with the military dictatorship. That's going to decrease our stability by a lot, but increase war support. But I think we're going to go for before we go with any political ones, I really think we ought to get that research spot opened up. The earlier we get that, the better. Alright, so we don't have any experience to add anything to those tank divisions, so we're not going to bother getting self-propelled stuff just yet. We will wait to get that. I think if we were to get anything that we can't add to divisions, we'd go ahead and get the support companies so that we have those done. We could also get the interwar artillery, get that bonus to our passive bonus to our troops, or we can continue working on planes, which would be an option as well. All right, this is what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and get the planes. We'll get the close air support for right now. We're not gonna get naval bombers yet. We'll have to wait on that. We just won't have the production to do it just yet. We'll go ahead and get the close air support though, so we'll have them. And I want to say we should build some units now. We could get 5. Again, can't really change them up at all. But our base division that we have here is not bad. Not bad at all. I almost want to go ahead and change up those 2 divisions that we got, the ladies divisions, the women, change them up. I think we should do that, and that way we won't have 2 competing division designs, and it's really unnecessary. You know, it's just a waste of experience. So yeah, I think we're gonna build these guys here. We don't have any experience to add anything to them. Let's just go ahead and train them up. I don't see any point on training the tanks yet. Just they need too many adjustments. So let's just go ahead and add these guys here. Oh yes, we can build those tanks, by the way. Let's get them up to 5. And we're going to go ahead and build the full 5 divisions that we can build here. So we'll have those out there. And it'll take them a long time to get their equipment, as you expect. And again, what I'm going to do, a couple things real quick. First of all, we'll get the new tanks built, since I know that we need some. And we won't give them a factory just yet. We'll wait until when we get a factory done building. Then it'll go to the tanks. So we wanted to do that, and then the other thing that we need to do is change up that division design. I gotta find them. I think they're on this line here. I suppose the best way to do this would be to change their icon so I can find them. And it doesn't really matter since we're about to get rid of them, but they're queens. Alright, so that'll allow me to find them easier. Here we go. So yeah, we're just gonna, if it lets me, then we're just gonna change them up. That would result in us getting more manpower back, since they, didn't have the artillery, but that's going to require us to give them artillery. We'll get a little bit of infantry equipment back too, so that'll be helpful. And it does actually tick, I think it affected their experience some. Maybe resulted in more experience, I'm not entirely sure. Since they, ended up losing divisions. Normally, if you, send manpower there, then they lose experience. So maybe when you take away the amount of manpower that they use, you actually get experience. I'm not sure. So the war here is done. East Turkestan has been defeated. I think that was the war here, yeah. You can see that these guys here are losing as well. And then the war here, as you'd expect with them having to fight the two-front conflict, they do seem to be losing there as well. Serbia crowns Alexander II. And we do have some civilian factories available. I don't think we're going to build any more of these. I think we're going to go ahead and start. Let me see how we're looking on our fuel capacity. We're at 211,000. We won't worry about getting fuel silos until we get some synthetic refineries first. Now, we can't build those just yet. We still have 123 days before we can build those. Let's go and get some military factories, guys. I think that would be really helpful. Another thing we could do is build up the infrastructure in those oil provinces. I saw one of them over here, but there's got to be more because there's 32 oil total available, and that's the only one I see which had 12 oil. That's that one right there. Trying to see if we can't get some more oil. Here's 8. So where the hell's the rest of it? Okay, I'm not seeing it. Let's see what we get if we build this up. Huh. So in Kaiserreich, interesting. So in Kaiserreich, infrastructure does not increase the amount of resources available. Okay, I didn't know that. So, yeah, there's really no reason to build infrastructure. Because infrastructure for making building faster is not actually better. To improve construction speed, it's not worth it. You're better off using your civilian factories to build what you wanted initially than to build infrastructure. So if it's not for the resources, the only real reason to ever build infrastructure is if you need supply. So we probably won't be doing much infrastructure building. And that makes that one focus that we got that gives all that infrastructure less useful. A lot less useful than what I was thinking. All right, we're going to get some military factories then. I'd also like to get some dockyards, but let's first solve the military factory issues that we have. All right, so we'll just get maybe 3 military factories for right now. And see what we want to do after that, because I would like to start working on some refineries as soon as we get that tech. So the war has started. The Second American Civil War, and they did end up splitting the country since Pennsylvania went syndicalist. So we are definitely going to probably help them out. Let me see how many volunteers I can send. And this will let us get some army experience as well. We can only send 3, so we're not going to be able to help out much, but we'll do what we can, guys. We could send the very experienced units that we have. I feel like we should probably get experience for a different unit instead, though. Maybe get the tank unit experience, even though they're garbage. These guys aren't great. Just taking looks, at their design, they're only 14 combat with. But getting them some experience, I think, would be helpful. So we're going to do one of those. And let me see where we want to pull these from. I suppose we might pull them from this side. Because I think war with the Japanese would maybe be less likely. I don't actually know, though. Yeah, I really don't know how this is going to end up going down. We haven't really been paying attention to the focuses of our enemies. So let's go and start a new army here. And then we'll give them a general. And I'm just going to take any tank. It doesn't matter where. Just give me a tank. I know we have some up along this line somewhere. Here we go. Go ahead and take this guy. And then let's go in and get them sent. We'll give them a color and all that good stuff. We'll give them blue for America with a star. And the general. We'll just give them... I mean, I haven't even looked at who we have available yet, but I assume we have some decent generals. Here's Sergei Markov. He was involved in that event that we had. He has some good traits here. He's a panzer leader. So I think we're going to assign Boris. And the reason why I'm going to assign him rather than, our Markov, who could, obviously would be good to get him more experience since he's our best general. Plus we can, level him up, give him some upgrades and stuff. I might go ahead and give him this now because, we have the command power, even though I'm not going to use them. And we're going to do the combined arms expert. I find, with the armor, giving them more defense, they just don't have that much defense initially anyways. While, you rely on your infantry to get the defense for your armored units. They have more defense, so plus 15% I think is more useful. So we're going to give them that while I'm looking at it here. But yeah, I'm not going to assign him or any of these other guys. And the reason why I want to assign Boris is because he already has the skilled staffer trait. A few of our generals do. He's the highest level one. And it typically takes a while to get the skilled staffer trait. And it's just so useful because you can have up to 30 units. So that's 6 more units, divisions that are going to get the bonuses under him. So I think he'd be really good to train up and get him a little bit more experience, maybe some more traits, since he doesn't really have anything other than that skilled staffer one. So yeah, that's who we'll send there. So let's go ahead and offer our volunteers. And now we could, of course, try and help out a different... who's under here? They have the social liberals. We could always wait for the Civil War to expand and then help out a different, one of the different American factions. I guess we'll take a look and see what happens here. The Belgrade Pact. Okay, so Serbia and Greece are in a faction together as of right now. Okay. But yeah, I almost think like... I know that the West here, the Pacific States break off. Yeah, I don't think we'd help them. Yeah, I guess it's just fine. We can always pull them back. Or actually, I don't think we can pull them back. I think we're kind of stuck with our volunteers being there, but that's fine, guys. We'll help them out. I don't want them to lose. I definitely don't want the Syndicalists to win here. So this will give us something to do, though. Our volunteers get there in April 7th. Give us a little bit of conflict here in 1937. Yeah, you can see that they are, Syndicalists currently are winning. So I think us coming to help is going to be big for them. So we can now do the solidify and control. I don't know that we're going to do this, though, guys, right now, because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell these do. I guess it does give the 5%. How long do we have these? 180 days just to get the 5%. Yeah, I mean, again, it would be really helpful to tick that up some. But you know what? I'm gonna do some of these first. Try and see what the hell these are. We'll try and invest in this other one this time. Oh, okay, so this time we actually got the event that we were supposed to get, I think. I'm not entirely sure why we didn't get it the last time. So we're deciding how much we're going to invest into them. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't get it last time. So let's just take a look and see how we want to do this. We can keep it small, and that's the direction of investment event's going to fire. It looks like it's going to fire no matter what. Or we can make a large investment and give them increased funding. Let's do the middle one, since I don't know what this does yet. Direction of investment. So we say focus on bureaucratic matters. We'll focus on the social environment of our people, and this will get us stability, war support, or political power. We can do industrial development of the region. This will give us new factories, infrastructure, resources, or even synthetic refineries. And this will give us new blueprints or improved research capabilities. Okay, interesting. Also, our stability is at 35% now. It looks like 0% is not, it's not the neutral position. It's still 50% because we're still getting negatives here at 35%. All right, well, I kind of feel like we should probably focus on getting that stability up, and I think that'd be helpful. So that's what we're going to go ahead and work on first. And I guess we can go ahead and do this one. Support the USA. So this will give us army experience. We'll send 2,000 equipment to the United States, but unfortunately, we don't have 2,000 infantry equipment right now. Yeah, we're still short 3,000, so it's going to be a while before we get out of this hole for the infantry equipment. So we won't be able to do that decision anytime soon. Let's go ahead and do this solidify control, guys. Let's try and get a little bit more party popularity, because yeah, 33% is not good. Not good at all. All right, so there's the peace conference. Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico is, what are they, free now? They're not a territory anymore? No, they're no longer a territory. All right, so we'll get there in a few days. We won't get to do the war very much, unfortunately, because it is just about the end of the episode. German candidate becomes the new High Commissioner of the Legation Cities. Okay, so again, that's involving these here. So interesting. We still haven't got our rights back for voting in that just yet. All right, so our units are there. Democracy prevails in the Philippines. So they are now independent. So where did they send our divisions? Let's take a look here. All right, so they're right here in Baltimore. So we need to go ahead and give them a field marshal. And I mean, it would make sense to give them Vrangel so he could start getting some experience. He's also charismatic, and he has the offensive doctrine. Yeah, I think that's who we're gonna give him. He's a war hero. Oh, he's got that harsh leader. So basically, it just offsets it. The division recovery rate that you get from charismatic is just offsetting the harsh leader one. So that's kind of a bummer. All right, well let's give him Vrangel. I feel like we should get him, more experienced. See if we can't get him some additional traits. All right, so let's see how we want to help them out. Again, we're going to largely focus on cutting divisions off and destroying them, rather than so much taking territory. And the best way to do that would be to take this province right here and go around, grab Philadelphia. And plus these are victory points, so that'll be pretty useful. So let's keep one unit here to help defend Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Make sure that that doesn't get taken, because you see that the Americans are not defending it very well. It does seem that Germany is also sending aid to the Americans, so that's good to see. I assume that the French will likely be sending aid to the syndicalist if they can. Yes. So it looks like the French is already here. So we got our concentrated industry 2. And we're going to go after construction 2 next. Again, we're probably not going to get to do this war very often, or for very long, I mean. Considering the fact that, yeah, the episode's just about over now. When does this guy leave here? 5 hours, so we're going to grab Philadelphia. Let's go turn this down just a little bit. We go to speed 4. Go after Philadelphia, and then we'll destroy this division here. Alright, so get him destroyed, and let's just kind of wrap up some of this territory here. And Argentina declared war on the workers' front. So is this a civil war? That's what it looks like. Some type of civil conflict. Although they're also at war with Chile. Okay. So yeah, war out is just breaking out all across the world right now. But yeah, we'll follow behind that division, go after these key victory points. Let's go and grab these ones real quick. We got this tank unit, which has cav unit, cav battalions in it, so it's not quite as fast as a light tank unit would normally be, but it's certainly faster than the infantry units. So we have one here. Let's go ahead and just push all the way through, and so that we can destroy this division here. Panama has joined the Entente. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So yeah, they joined the Entente. So I don't know if that will affect anything just yet. Probably not. They're not really at conflict with anybody. We are attacking across a river here, but this division is cut off, and it's a militia division, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get them defeated. And then now we just got the event about the war that's going on down there, and Paraguay has gotten involved, and Serbia declared war on Bulgaria. So that'll result in Greece declaring war on them as well. So this will be interesting to see, because Bulgaria is clearly more powerful than either one of them, or it looks more powerful. We'd have to look at their actual division numbers to confirm, but yeah, they definitely are more powerful. But they're outnumbered in the fact that they're facing 2 different countries. But I suppose outnumbered is the wrong word there, because even with both Serbia and Greece, they don't have the number of divisions of Bulgaria. So it's interesting to see who win there. I think maybe Bulgaria might be the one to lose, or might be the one to win. Excuse me. Simply because they have more divisions. So I do expect they'll probably win. Alright, so we have gotten these militia divisions stuck in that little province there. And Bolivia declared war on Chile as well. So big war happening down here in South America now. They got Paraguay in here, and Bolivia has joined in against Paraguay and Chile. Okay, so I really can't say how things are going to go down now. It could go either way. So we're going to go and grab New York City again, just trying to get these victory points and all of the goodies that you get here as well. Get those with the tanks. And we'll destroy this division here. Just make sure we got the capital locked down and protected. But yeah, the point is going to be to try and get control of Pennsylvania and get New York. The fall of New York City. Syndicalists lose a major symbol thanks to us. So we'll have these guys go grab that and then come back. And then these guys here, as soon as they're finished up in the defense, we'll wipe this militia division out. There we go, beautiful. So not going to be able to do a ton with the only having 3 divisions, and one of them we're keeping here for right now to make sure they don't take Washington, D.C., because that'd be a big loss for America. So with the 3 divisions, we're going to be a little bit limited on, how much we're going to be able to help, but we've done this before, and I think it was in a Kaiserreich campaign as well. I could be wrong, though. Maybe I'm thinking of the American Civil War happening in Vanilla, but I know we've had 3 divisions before in the American Civil War, either in Vanilla or Kaiserreich, and we've made a massive impact, despite the fact of only having 3 divisions. We still, definitely played a large role. So we could do quite a bit with 3 divisions if we utilize them right. But as you can see, the Syndicalists are making progress. It does seem that they're advancing across the front right now. So yeah, we'll be helping out in that Civil War and getting a bit of army experience from that. As far as our divisions, you can see that we've got them some equipment now, so they're slowly kind of getting built out. This is going to get us up to 90 divisions, which is our total limit right now. Definitely nowhere near the number of divisions we need to defend all of our many borders. But unfortunately, that is going to be the end of today's episode. Sorry we had to restart it. Of course, it wasn't my fault that they had the update, but I should have checked. I really didn't think that there was going to be an update because there was just an update a couple weeks ago. So I didn't think the mod was going to get an update anytime soon. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. Late July is when it just got an update. So I wasn't expecting it. But I think if I would have went to the forums, I might have seen that there was a update incoming, and then we could have delayed the series until the update was out. So that was my bad, guys. But we're already past where we were at. We didn't quite make a year like I wanted to. We got just short of a year. But part of that, of course, is because we're now helping out with our volunteers, so that's going to kind of slow things down a bit. And remember that the next episode will not be till Tuesday. We will not have a video on Monday. I hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I do hope to see you on the next episode, which again won't be until Tuesday. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.